So What If Star Wars was scored by a trap producer in 2023? We'll stick around to the end because the final result just might surprise you. What's up, mi gente? I'm Brett Anthony. I'm going to show you guys exactly what that might sound like if I were to score the next Star Wars movie. Now, before any classic Star Wars fans get their panties in a race, you think about it for a second, be a little bit open-minded. What if George Lucas had gone down to the west side of Atlanta and said, yo, I want the best trap producer that you guys have over here. I don't want to go the traditional route. I don't want to get the 20-piece orchestra, but I want something with some hard-hitting 808s, a snare with a sharp attack onto it, and some rolling hi-hat. That is what I'm missing right now in this film. So with that in mind, this is what I ended up coming up with. All right, mi gente, so let's go ahead and get right into this. So first things first, what I was thinking, when you think of a movie or you think of something as epic as Star Wars, you got to think like orchestras, right? Yeah, you're thinking like a lot of string instruments, especially in the beginning. You want to get some tension built up. So that's what we ended up going with. This is the first layer. Not bad, but that string sounds a little bit lonely. So what we're going to do is go ahead and add in another melody for that on the same layer. And that's harmonizing with the previous one. Again, we're going to add on now a third layer. So I don't know if you heard the little wah, wah, that effect right there. That's called a glissando. So add in a glissando effect, and that's how we got that kind of like stretching or bending sound. Just to give it a little bit more tone and color, a little bit different. And then we added in this pizzicato. I don't know how you pronounce that. But anyways, we added in this sound as well. Check it out, guys. So that sound right there, it definitely adds more to the tension for the buildup. You guys know how dramatic the movies has to be. So this right here, this sound by itself. Definitely sounds like something's coming, right? You've heard that before. So that adds into the tension. And then last but not least, we added in another little accent string that played the higher notes. So check this out. And then, that wasn't last. Then last but not least, one more layer we added on was a violin accent. So with this violin accent, it's very sparse, but you'll hear it right here. So that was a violin pizzicato. And then with all the strings together, this is what we got. And then after that, just to add a little bit more of that movie texture to it, what I did was I ended up adding in this bass and this rain sound effect. Check this out, guys. So I think we are well on our way right now. So for that intro section, this is what that sounds like. All right, cool. So that's what we got. We got some strings going in for the intro sections. So what I was able to do, guys, is I played these instruments, played the chords, cool. But to give it a different feel, a different texture, when we introduced the drum pattern, this is what we did. I took what I played, put it into a sampler right here, but made it a playable instrument. So now when I hit one of these buttons here, see how we put this part in reverse? Now you have a bunch of different styles and options from something that you've already created. Now you created your own sample that you can chop up and play with if I want to put it in the keys. So now I have that option as well. So let's go ahead and show you guys exactly what I ended up doing with that. So what I ended up doing was taking what I had already created, chopped it up into the sample. We put some RC color on it to give it that noisy sound effect. And then as well as we EQ'd the highs and the lows because we wanted to make it sound like an old sample, right? So that's what we went ahead and did. And then to add to that, instead of just that playing by itself, I added on these bells that I ended up playing. So I added in that bell melody, and together Then next thing you know, we added in my favorite part. Finally, we get to it, the drums. So we went with the classic Atlanta style hi-hat, 808s, snares, sometimes the kick, and that was pretty much it. We kept it kind of simple or kind of basic on this one. So check it out. All right, cool. So we got that section done. By this time, George Lucas was looking at me saying, Brett, I like where this is headed. But right now, we got another scene that's coming up that has a lot more action into it. And we need something that says our characters are running through the forest and they're jumping and they're doing a bunch of action-packed stuff. But it hasn't reached the climatic build-up yet. So we want to make sure that it's building up, that there's still some tension in there, right? So normally what you would do in this instance is you want to add in some drums, right? But you want to give a change of some drums, maybe some organic, like big percussive style drums or some symphony orchestra style drums, right? So that's exactly what we did. Except for on the next part, there was something a little bit different that we did. So this is the string section for the build up before we get to the next session. So as you guys can see, this is pretty damn dramatic if you ask me. So how was I able to do that? Pretty much, I'll break down each individual string section that I played. First, we got this layer. So that was one part of the string. Then I layered it with this string right here. And then we also added in my favorite, the pizzicato. Somebody let me know down in the comments is how the hell do you pronounce that word? Pizzicato, pizzato, pizzicato. I'm not Italian. I don't know. Anyways, this is what we added in. I have no idea what possessed me to make me think of that. Now that I'm hearing that back by itself again, I like that. I'm liking that. And then right here, we got this nice violin accent section on here. All right, guys, so we got that in there. Now what's next? Now you're saying, well, where's the drums that you were mentioning? Well, remember I said got some drums. Well, this is what we ended up adding in here at this part right here. Outside of that, we ended up adding in some cinematic style drums like this right here. To also add to that, man, that sounds like my heart is pumping already just from the sound of those drums. Another section that we ended up adding in here was the woodwinds. All my composers over here, you guys are probably going to be going crazy. I might not be doing this the classical or correct way, but this is what I ended up playing and hearing. So right here, we also added in like some sticks hitting the side of the drum effect. Check this out. Woo-hoo! All right, guys. So now when we put that all together, this is what we ended up coming up with. Guys, I don't know about y'all, but man, I'm hyped. This is sounding amazing already. Now check this out. Next part, what I did was I took that part that you guys just heard. I took the string section from that, and guess what we did on the next part, going into the drum pattern. Because by this time, George Lucas is saying, okay, we got that, bro. We're going through the fight scene. We're going through the one of the buildups or the climactic scene, but we need some drums in here, carry us over into the final fight scene, right? I ended up taking the same concept that I used before where I resampled the strings that I had played in the previous measures or the previous section, and we took that and did the same thing for this section, but with the second melody or the second string section that we created, and this is the result. With the drums, this is what we got. Oh my God, guys, I cannot wait until you guys hear the final section. So now we are getting down to the wire now. Now, this was the next part, in my opinion, my favorite part, because now this is the big fight. This is the part where Baby Yoda or full grown ass Yoda and Darth Vader and everybody starts getting to it, right? So this is where we need to have like that big sound, the final build up. And this is what we ended up coming up with, guys. Check this out. So following the same format that I had done before, going into that section, I just started or created a brand new section. And this time I added in some more wind instruments and brass instruments. So check this out. Actually, you know what? I gotta solo it out. So listen to these horns right here, guys. Check this out. So we ended up creating that section right there. We added in like a nice little string flurry at the end too. So check this out. Wow. And so following that same concept, guys, we got the final section that where I ended up taking that string section, that in the wind section, everything you guys just heard, we went ahead and chopped that up again, and this is what we got. I know it sounds like a crazy hectic mess, right? But when you add it with the drums, check this out, guys. All right, guys, so that's what Star Wars would sound like if it was scored by your boy, Brett Anthony. If you guys like that, or if you got some value out of it, go ahead and drop a like. It doesn't cost you anything. Also, too, if you could, share it with someone. You never know. If you guys do like this content and you want some more, I am going to be dropping some more behind the scenes and songs breakdowns of things that I create, as well as I'm going to be creating some different genres and new songs, or coming up with some creative stuff, some pretty wacky stuff. So you guys drop down the comments down below 2 types of genres or 2 types of music from different countries that you guys will want to hear mixed together in an EDM format, and I'll see what I can come up with. All right, if you guys enjoyed it, go ahead and leave me a like. I greatly appreciate that. It costs you nothing, as well as share it with someone that you think might be able to benefit from it. If you like what you saw, then go ahead and subscribe, and I'll make sure I keep bringing you guys some more content just like this, as well as some other live performance. All right, I'll catch you guys on the next one.